Okay, nobody warned me about this part of being in my 50s. Nobody told me it was going to feel like this. And like maybe people did, but in my ignorance of youth at the time, I wasn't really paying attention. I'm like, I'll get there someday, but today is not that day. But today is that day. And now I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me? Some of being in your 50s is great. Some of it is weird. And some of it just totally caught me off guard. So today I want to talk about all the things that nobody really tells you about midlife until you're actually living through it. And if you're a youngster, and when I mean youngster, I mean like in your 20s or 30s, because that's young to me now, you might want to listen up, because I wish I would have paid attention earlier on, because it will happen to you. I guarantee you, you are going to get older. We all are. This is going to happen. And if you're going through this right now in your life, you're not alone. First, it's going to sound like a downer, but it's going to get better, is that nobody's paying attention to you. Like, you get to a point and you start realizing no one's looking at me anymore. Like, I'm kind of like invisible. Nobody cares what I'm doing. And it's like, dang, I used to get looks and whatnot, and now I'm just like out here just in these streets, just no one's paying attention. I'm gonna make it work in my favor. No one's paying attention. So I don't really need to concern myself with what people think. I mean, I care what other people think at times, but I really I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm just living my life, bro. Like if you know, but the point is no one's paying attention, so it doesn't matter. Like all those thoughts where you're thinking, oh, people are really gonna say this or judge me of this and look at me at this and like, what should I wear and how should I wear my hair and what should I do and all these things. No one cares, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Okay, I want you to take 5 seconds and think about the last interaction you had with somebody. Not like somebody that you're living with, like your husband or someone that's in your home, like that you could look at right this minute. But I mean, think about the last interaction you had with somebody out and about. Now, pause and tell me, what were they wearing? Unless they were wearing something like super cute or trendy or just different, I bet you can't tell me what they were wearing. And even if you can you tell me what they were wearing the last 3 times you saw them? No, you can't. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I can't wear that again because I just wore that last week and people are going to think I don't wash my clothes and all that. People aren't thinking that deeply. They're concerned with themselves. So when we're all going places, everybody's like, me, like, what do I look like? What are people going to see me as? And they're not. They're looking at themselves and wondering what other people are thinking about themselves. It's like we're all in this weird loop of wondering what people are thinking, and we're all thinking about ourselves. Midlife is like having an invisibility cloak, because people just aren't checking for you like they used to. It just is what it is. And it feels kind of sad, but at the same time, it's like you could just kind of fly under the radar. And it's kind of freeing when you think about it like that. So even though I don't feel like I need to perform for anybody or like show up in a certain way so people will like me more, I don't want to let myself go, and I want to look good for myself. And one of the things that's been bugging me so much is the way that my hair has been thinning. And I'm like, I know people talk about hair thinning, but I always thought about it in like the crown of your head or like behind, you know, in the, I guess this is the crown, I don't know, the back crown. But for me, especially when I dyed my hair back from blonde to brown, now it like totally shows up, just like you could see just like the white part. And it doesn't help that those parts get gray. And so it's like grayish white, the white of my scalp, because my scalp is pasty white. It just like bing. And I'm just like, no, why are you doing this? Hide under my hair. So I've been trying to figure out ways to stimulate the growth. And one thing that I've been doing is kind of been working, and that's hair oiling. You could just see like a more balding vibe up here if I pulled it back like that. I tried Pros and then I tried Nutrafol, and they do work. I started to see a little bit more growth, but not like dramatic. And those hoes want like $80 a month. I'm like, that's just excessive for me. So I went on a deep dive of like what things can help like stimulate the hair growth again. And I heard about hair oiling. There's several benefits to it, but the two that's like most important to me is that it can stimulate like blood flow in your scalp so that it can start opening up those pores. Also just like making your hair just soft. So I just started doing this hair oiling probably in the last few months. I just do it like 2 times a week, and I think it's been helping. I use the organic coconut oil that's in the glass bottle, Parachute Naturals organic virgin coconut oil, all natural, cold pressed, unbleached, unrefined, hydrogenated. It should smell like coconut when you open it, because like a lot of the ones that are cheaper, they have other stuff mixed in it, and you don't want that. You just want like just true 100% coconut. And you can also use this for cooking, so it's dual purpose. And then I also use organic castor oil. Again, this one should be in a glass bottle and an amber bottle, and it should be organic, cold pressed, hexane free, which I don't know exactly what that means, but all I know is I did a lot of research and this one was a good one. And I think the Queen of Thrones is another one that's highly recommended, but all the other ones, don't do it. Just get one of these. And then this is known to stimulate hair growth as organic rosemary. So I just got like a little bottle of essential oil. Now I'm going to tell you a part that in just a second, and you're going to be like, I'm out. Maybe you're not, maybe you won't. Let me give you credit. Take some coconut oil. The castor oil is very thick, like honey. So you need carrier oil that's going to be like softer. I just do a little bit of castor oil, 4, 5, 6, whatever drops of rosemary oil. And then your hands are going to be like super oily. And then you just start putting it in your hair. Just really get in there, especially the parts that's thinning. I'm not a professional here. Here's the part that most people aren't gonna do this, but you need to loosen your scalp. You're not just doing this. I mean, yes, you are doing this like a good head massage, but what you're really trying to do is loosen your scalp. Like you should see your scalp moving back and forth. When you're doing this, you should be like loosening it up. And you have to do this for 10 minutes. That's what this quote science says. Now there's this like helmet thing that's like red light. It's kind of expensive that can stimulate as well. And there's another thing like a helmet massager. It's usually marketed for like men that has hair loss. It has these little like fingery things in there and it'll like massage your scalp for you. Cause like it's 10 minutes, but hear me out. I have like wiggly arms. Like I'm trying to get some power arms going on here. So I figure like this could be part of like my workout, not daily because I'm not doing it daily, but like when I do this 2 or 3 times a week, set a timer, stand in front of the TV or listen to a podcast, do this for 10 minutes and like loosen the scalp up. Think about like the inner of your scalp needs to get blood flow and the individual follicle things needs to, like you're chewing like a piece of spearmint gum or something, like it needs to open up, fresh and new. So you really need to get in there and do it. You can also buy one of these things, super cheap, Temu, Amazon, wherever. It's just like got these like little rubbery things. And you can also just like include this and just in addition to your fingers. Then this feels super nice too. I usually use this in the shower too when I'm like shampooing and conditioning. Really getting in there with your hands helps a lot. So I get it all oiled up and I do my 10 minutes. Sometimes I do like 15 minutes because I'm trying to, like my arms need help. Another thing they don't warn you about is these flabby arms. And then I just tie it up in a bun. I keep it on for several hours. You can keep it on as long as you want. Some people actually sleep with this, put like a bonnet, like a silk bonnet. And then when you go in the shower, then you just shampoo and conditioner like normal. And it feels very soft. You guys remember back in the day, we had those VO5 hot oil treatments. It's kind of like that without it being hot. I guess you could actually warm this up and it would be very similar to those little like tubes that we used to use back when we were like teenagers or whatever. Really invigorates the scalp. Let me know if you try it. Let me know if you have good results or if you have any other tips to like regrow this thinning hair because don't nobody want no thin hair. So we got hair thinning. I'm getting some little hairs over here on my lip. I'm like, don't do that. And then the next thing that people don't really talk about like specifically is your body eroding. Now, I know people talk about when you get older, your body starts to break down, all this stuff, but I thought it was gonna be like much older and then it just like hits you and your just body's not really working. No, it started in my late 40s and especially like early 50s that I'm in now. It's like little things. Your knees are start popping, your shoulder like, my shoulder, 2 bones are just crushing together when I move my shoulder anyway. I bend over and I'm like, what's that pain over there? Hormones ping-ponging all over the place. Mental health issues all over, brain fog, hot flashes. My digestion is like a Russian roulette. I don't know if I can eat certain things. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. So I'm like, okay, is it gonna be a good night or a bad night? All the body parts just doing weird things. What is happening here? And I was thinking about if you had a 52-year-old car, that car's been working. And if it's still running, that's great. But it's getting older. Now, our bodies are not cars. Our bodies are made tough. But we got to take care of them. And I'm like, man, I really should have paid more attention to a lot of things as I was going through life. because I'm still in pretty good health, but there's lots of things that I could have done differently and better. Can't go back and do it differently, but I can start doing things better now, which is what I've been trying to do, is just focus on fitness and health and getting all the toxins out of my life and all that stuff. So it is super important, especially like one thing that I struggle with, water. I don't know what it is. I feel kind of nauseous when I drink a lot of water. I don't know, but I know that it's like good to lubricate the parts, the innards of your body. So that's one thing. And then fitness. I recently joined a gym again. Don't want to, but I need to. And then just fueling your body with better stuff. I don't really think I realize it's gonna creep up on you, and it's gonna be like little things, and then you start getting used to those little things, and those little things stack on top of each other, and then you're just like feel kind of broken at times. I'm like, I'm not going out without a fight, so I'm gonna continue to work on my health. And the final thing is, I don't think people are explicitly talking about this. I know there's books and stuff, but like just regular people should tell you that you never arrive. I thought when I was younger, at a certain point, especially like my 50s, I'm gonna have it all figured out. I'm gonna, like a lot of it, I'm gonna be stable and secure, and everything's gonna be like, I'm gonna be married and have the house, retirement all set up. My kids are gonna be coming to visit, and the grandkids and all these things. It's just like all these things. None of those things are happening. And I've heard from older people like, no, things don't just magically fall into place. In fact, things get harder because life's moving so fast, and you're getting older, and the older you get, your mind is not gonna be as like sharp and quick as it used to be. So you just like never arrive like a destination until you die. Let's not be morbid here. You never arrive. You're constantly, things are changing and evolving and growing and moving here, moving there. Like you just never get to one final place where you're like, I did it, you know? Like when I moved here to the coast, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the beach every day. I'm gonna get up early and just do it. And it's like, I have the intention in my mind to do it, but life is lifing. And even on the days that I do get to the beach, like this week, for example, I was like, okay, I finally have a little pocket of time. I can go down to the beach. And then I get there and the tide is just like coming almost up to like the houses. And I'm just like, what's happening here? There's like not really a space for me to go sit on the sand, because I did sit for a while, but the waves were coming like really close. So I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if it's time of year or what, but like, I can't control that. I can't control nature. I can plan for things that I want, but in life, you don't get to just choose and control everything. And that's okay if you're resourceful and you are able to pivot quickly. And that's one skill that I've continually worked on, is going with the flow. Like I think of a kayak, for an example, is like, that's something I really want to get into at some point, probably when it gets warmer, is I want to start kayaking. And I've done some kayaking in the past, like not extensively, but I've done it. And it's like, if your kayak is going in one direction and you want to go the other, then you got to go with the waves. You can't go against it, or it's going to be so much harder and you're not going to get anywhere. So you just got to like go with the path where God is leading you and try not to resist it. And the more you fight to try to do things your way, the more upset you get. And then the more upset you get, then the more like angry you get. And then you're just in a bad mood. And then nobody wants to be in a bad mood. We want to live in these midlife times in joy and gratitude and peace and calm, adventure and all that stuff. I ain't got time to be mad and upset and angry. Like there's too many wonderful things that I want to do and enjoy. Just got to go with the flow. So if you're at this stage in life, I want to encourage you. It's a time to be like, you know what? What do I want? What do I want to do? How do I want to be? What do I want to think about? What mood do I want to be in? I'm choosing joy. I'm like, things are not always going to go my way, but you know what? Take it down a notch and be like, you know what? What can I find that's a silver lining in this? How can I shift this so that it feels a little bit better to me? For all my over 50 ladies, or even late 40s, what has surprised you the most about getting into this midlife era? Drop it in the comments, because it's nice to hear from other people so that you don't feel all alone. So even though nobody really warned me about all these things, I'm taking it in stride, and you should too. You're not behind. You're not all alone. This isn't a crisis. There's no midlife crisis that you have to agree to. You can make it your best time of your life. You can do whatever you want, really. And if anybody has anything to say about it, be like, yeah, I'm living my best life. You live your best life. Stay in your own lane. Focus on your thing. I'm going to focus on my thing. And it's just going to be a joyful time. And if nobody has told you today, you are valued and you don't have to do anything else but be yourself to be loved. So until next time, bye for now. Person that tells you until you're actually living in this midlife. And I heard about hair pulling. Nope. Which, let's not be market. No. And I heard about, what are your words?